Hi there, I'm Mr. Rainsley, I'm the Head of History. Just wanted to tell you a bit about what's involved in the GCSE History Battlefields trip. Basically, this is a trip I have run many times, maybe 30 times with different Year 10 groups over the years. I absolutely love running it. I've been doing it for years because it's one thing you can do as a teacher where you absolutely see how it inspires and affects and even changes students. It's an incredible experience. So I would hope that you're able to consider this. Now the trip this year is running from the 24th of April to the 27th of April in 2026. That's over a weekend. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And all the details and payment details, such like, are in the letter, which you should get or should have. But I just want to tell you a bit about what the actual trip is. Now, it's a bit of a journey from Maryport in Cumbria down to Belgium, which is where we're going. But it's a long drive, obviously, down the motorways past London to Dover. Then we take the ferry across the English Channel, just 90 minutes or so to Calais. And we're heading for a place called Ypres, which is a town in Belgium. And it's only maybe 90-minute drive when you get to the other side, once you're in Belgium. We land in France, we go to Belgium. Now, so that's the first day's travelling. And the company I've travelled with before, Galloway, they're very good, they're very efficient, and their drivers are very professional and really know the places we're going to, and they always get on with the students well. Now the place we're staying at when we get there, there's usually time for a bit of a walk around in the evening. It's a place called Hostel de l'Orque. There's the journey there, a bit of a trek. And I'll tell you a bit about the hostel. It's outside the town of Ypres, where we're visiting. It's 10 kilometres outside. And the hostel is basically surrounded by woodland, lovely paths and hills around. It's a great place to explore. And students will get rooms in small groups, usually 3 or 4 in a room. The food is excellent. This trip, they lay on all of the food apart from on the journeys. And every day when we go out for the day, they give us a packed lunch and drinks and snacks and such like. So they really do feed us well. There is Wi-Fi, the most important thing of all, but it's a great place for students to visit. And there's also like a sports hall there to kick a ball around. They've got some great facilities. Really enjoy going there. Hostel de l'Orque. Now, what we're going to be doing over the next few days is visiting a number of battlefields and memorials connected to the First World War, which absolutely raged around this town called Ypres. And that's how Ypres looks today. It's a beautiful town. It looks very ancient, but actually it was completely destroyed in the First World War because at least 3 major battles were fought over this town. And what we're going to try and understand is why this was so important and what the experience of a soldier was in the First World War and why people commemorate this today. So we start off by visiting a museum right there in the middle of the town, in that building you've just seen, the cloth hall with the tower, called Flanders Fields. Flanders is the area around. Great museum with some great introduction to the area, so you understand what soldiers would experience and what people would experience who lived in the area. We go up right to the top of that tower to literally get a sort of bird's eye view of the landscape. It's not a good place to be if you've got vertigo, but some incredible views. And then in the afternoon, we head out to some actual trenches at a place called Sanctuary Wood to see what soldiers would have experienced. There are tunnels there, there's mud, it's rusty metal, barbed wire, shell holes. It's an amazing place to try and understand what the Western Front, where soldiers in the First World War fought in, was like. So students always love this, and wellies are involved in this one. It's pretty muddy. Also close to Ypres, we go and visit a place called Tynecott Cemetery. It's the largest Commonwealth war grave cemetery in the world. There's literally a sea of headstones and huge great walls of names. 30,000 soldiers named on the walls behind who don't have a grave. So we've been to understand the scale of this conflict, the First World War, and how people commemorate it and why they commemorate it. This is always quite a moving place to visit. And it's built right on top of a battlefield where soldiers were literally buried as they fought. The cross you see in the centre is built on a concrete bunker which soldiers died trying to capture. It's a very interesting place, an evocative place. In the evening, this is still on the second day, which will be Saturday, we take part in something called the Menin Gate ceremony, this huge gate building in the centre of Ypres. It has, I think, something like 70,000 names in it of soldiers being commemorated who don't have a known grave. And every night they play something called the Last Post. It's called the Last Post Cemetery, and we'll lay a wreath in memorial, as will other people being there too. There's always a busy event, and we'll pay our respects in this ceremony. That's a special experience taking part in this. The Menin Gate was built, as you can see, at a way in and out of town, utterly devastated at the time of the war. It's hard to believe it when you see what's there now. Okay, on the third day, we get back in the bus and we cross the border to France, not far away, about an hour away. And we visit a number of places. We go to this place called Vimy Ridge, right up on a hilltop. This, believe it or not, is a little bit of Canada. The land's been given to Canada because Canadian soldiers captured this ridge. And this is a memorial to soldiers who came from Canada right across the Atlantic Ocean to fight in this war and try and think what their experience was. Usually we get permission to explore underground. There are some amazing tunnels underneath they take us into. And we see how the soldiers managed to sort of sneak up to the front lines in the trenches without being seen. So it's quite an amazing place. We travel nearby in France to a river valley called the Somme. This is where an enormous battle took place in 1916 called the Battle of the Somme. It was the worst day the British Army's ever had. There were 20,000 soldiers killed just on the first day, 57,000 casualties just in a day. It was a terrible battle and a failure at the time. Newfoundland Park is where soldiers from the island of Newfoundland fought and died. And we look at the landscape around where soldiers advance from the trenches. It's been left as it is. You can tour the landscape and you begin to understand, when you look at the shell holes in the trenches, why this battle was such a disaster. And there's usually Canadian guides there to show you around and tell you what's going on. It's very strange. It's another piece of Canada, because Newfoundland is now Canada. In the afternoon, still in France, we visit a place called Thiepval, which is an enormous, enormous monument. There's white columns you see are covered in names of soldiers who don't have a known grave again. 72,000 names, I think, all died in the Battle of the Somme, or were lost in the Battle of the Somme. It's something you can see from miles around, sort of dominating the landscape. It's quite an experience to visit. Now on the last day, obviously we've experienced quite a lot and visited quite a lot at this stage. It's a long journey home, of course, but what we'll hopefully do on the way is stop off at this, which is the town of Bruges in Belgium, very beautiful historic town, just for a whistle-stop tour, but it's lovely to see it on the way and break up the long journey. I will say something that parents will want to be aware of if you're sending your children, or guardians will want to be aware of. This town is famous for chocolate, so ask for some chocolate to be brought back. Now, this is a long, long trip back, of course, but obviously the ferry journey breaks up the journey, as does visiting Bruges. Now, by the time we get back, we've reflected on the experiences. Students have had an incredible time and seen some things which I think always stay with them for life, things obviously we'll discuss in class. But as an opportunity to, widen your horizons, not just understanding the First World War, but understanding a lot of sort of human issues. This is an incredible trip. And if you're able to join us, you'll be very, very welcome indeed. So have a read of the letter, okay? Any queries, anything you're not sure about, please ask myself or your history teacher or get in touch with me. But I hope you can join us.